I guess Vietnam isn't the only one. This guy's actually putting some effort in squatting. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and welcome to Cambodia. Today is actually our last day, so it's kind of a bad welcome to you guys, I guess. We haven't been able to really talk about a lot out here because there's not really a lot to do out here unless you're drinking. And I don't mean that in any rude way. There's just really not a lot to do out here. Well, I thought we would sit down and talk about what I think so far. We've finished Vietnam, we've finished Thailand, and we have officially finished Cambodia. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of talk about what I think about, in general, the three go together. So let's go find a spot to sit and let's have a little talk about what I think about the three. So when it comes to food, this is kind of a tricky one because we really have to break it apart. We can't just say Vietnam has the best food or Thailand or Cambodia have the best food. It really depends what you're looking for. When it comes to spicy food, Cambodia by far, I think is some of the spiciest food. I've asked for the hottest, and Cambodia has delivered for sure. When it comes to like international food, like Western food, and you know, like a country able to make different types of Asian foods and Western foods like pizzas and tacos and you know, stuff like that, I'm gonna give that one to Thailand. Thailand just does it right. I don't know if it's the ingredients, if the people that are cooking have actually been wherever they're cooking the food from, but it's always better. When it comes to accessibility to food and like street food and you know, just waking up at 3 in the morning and getting a bunch of food, Vietnam definitely wins that category. There is definitely like a time frame when it comes to being here in Cambodia or being in Thailand where you're not able to really just get food whenever you want. Like, it doesn't work that way. Vietnam, you can literally go out anywhere at any time of the day, no matter what time it is, and pretty much get yourself a beer and get some food or get a drink or something like that. So there's always access, and Vietnam definitely has that one. What are the thoughts of being out in these countries long term? When it comes to this, we have to think about working, visas, and you know, stuff like that gets you into these countries long term. This is where I think Thailand really surpasses, and Cambodia is right behind it with Vietnam. Thailand offers pretty much a visa for everything, with the exception of a nomad visa that you'd see like Japan. But you have the visa elites, you can get married, you can get work visas, you get all these types of visas. When it comes to Cambodia, you're pretty much limited to working visas and also marriage visas and tourist visas. And Vietnam is pretty much the same. It's pretty much just tourist visas. Vietnam is actually the least likely to allow you to stay long term. In regards to like where you can stay longer, Thailand, you could definitely stay the longest, pretty much for your life. I mean, they offer retirement visas out here. Cambodia offers ways to stay out here a lot longer. It is more sustainable that way as well. And Vietnam, obviously you have the tourist or work visa if you're working. The problem with Vietnam is you're kind of limited on types of work. And then that takes us to how comfortable life is out here. So when you're living in these different countries, you have a style of a life that you kind of get accustomed to. Things to do in the different countries when you do live here. So places like Thailand, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of open malls, a lot of activities, sporting events, gyms, concerts, stuff like that. So there's always something to do in Thailand. When it comes to Cambodia, and this is something I've noticed a lot, you can see here where we're walking, there's a trail, it's called the Smart Trail. There's always some kind of like a fitness you can do that allows you to like be fit, which is a really nice thing because you don't see that a lot. And you know, the air is a lot cleaner out here. The food is a lot healthier out here, for say. So there's a lot to do there. When it comes to Vietnam, you're kind of limited. It's really, you go to a coffee shop, you go to a restaurant, or you just stay home. Or if you're really feeling dangerous and sparky, you go out there and challenge traffic. Once you saw one thing in Vietnam, you kind of saw it all. Places to live and do things long term. I really think Thailand is the spot to be if you want to retire, and because again, you can retire out here in Thailand with a retirement visa, but you also have a lot to do. There's a lot of Western stuff to do. There's a lot of Asian stuff to do, Thai stuff to do, gyms, marathons, running, mountain climbing, skydiving, surfing, whatever you want to do, you can pretty much find out here. The second one though is Cambodia. There's a lot to do in Cambodia, and you can definitely live a long-term life out here. So I would say Thailand #1 for sure, Cambodia #2, and I would say Vietnam runs into a #3 in regards to places to live and stuff to do. And then we talk about cost of living. If you're gonna live in Vietnam, Thailand, or Cambodia, which one do I think is the best one to go to for the big bang for your dollar, right? And there's two answers to this. One, if you're living there, obviously it's gonna be a lot cheaper. And then two, if you're a tourist, it's gonna be a different price range. Category, I would say Vietnam's #1 if you're gonna live, it's gonna be the cheapest. Thailand #2, Cambodia #3. Because Thailand, you have so many different options, different cities to go to, and the prices do vary. If you're living in Phuket, it's gonna be very expensive. But if you get to Chiang Mai and stuff, it can get very cheap very quick. Now, in regards to tourism, if you are a tourist in a different country, it's gonna depend how you do about this. Are you doing 30 days of Airbnb? Are you hotel hopping? Thailand is the cheaper country if you're gonna be backpacking. Next comes Vietnam, and then finally Cambodia. This one really did surprise me because I'm thinking Vietnam's always the cheapest country. Vietnam is actually quite expensive. Once you start hotel hopping, you have to go out every night to get food, yada, yada, yada. And you wanna feel like you're in a Western society or culture or everything's just normal, it's just more Asian people, then most definitely Thailand's gonna be your spot. And you have places like Phuket, Bangkok, which are crazy modern. But if you are gonna come live out here in one of these three countries, 100% Vietnam is gonna be the cheaper option. And the one that everybody asks about, Thai girls, Cambodian girls, and Vietnamese girls, I don't really want to answer that because I think it's just gonna piss off a lot of people. And you know, if you guys catch me out in town or at a restaurant or something like that, ask me then, I will answer it to you right there off camera. But for now, guys, I think that's it.